All right, let's talk about the microwave. I mean, it's in pretty much every kitchen, right? That little magic box that heats up our leftovers, our coffee, makes popcorn in minutes. But there's always been this cloud of suspicion around it, hasn't there? This idea that maybe that convenience comes at a cost, a nutritional cost. So we're going to get into the science and see what's really going on.
And that's really the big question we're trying to answer here. When you pop your food in there and hit start, are you actually doing your meal a favor, or are you kind of sabotaging it without even knowing? It's time to actually look at the evidence.
Okay, so first up, let's tackle the biggest one, the one you've probably heard 1,000 times. It's that idea that microwaves just nuke the food, right? That they blast away all the good stuff, especially the vitamins.
Yeah, we've all heard it. I'm sure some of us have even said it, this deep-seated belief that the radiation in that box is just, obliterating all the nutrients. But is that really what's happening? Well, the actual science here might just surprise you.
Believe it or not, yeah, the exact opposite can be true. Sources like BBC Science Focus point out that microwaving can actually preserve nutrients. Here's the thing, all cooking destroys some nutrients. It's unavoidable. The real question is how much. And it turns out the microwave might be one of the best methods we have for keeping them intact.
And here's why that is. Let's compare it to something we all think of as super healthy, boiling, right? You boil your veggies? Well, a lot of the best vitamins, like C and B vitamins, are water-soluble. That means when you boil your broccoli, those vitamins literally just leach out into the water. And then what do? We pour that vitamin-rich water right down the drain. Microwaving, on the other hand, uses way less water, sometimes none at all, and the cooking times are super short. Less water plus less time means more of those vitamins stay right where you want them, in your food.
So, okay, for vitamins, the microwave can actually be a pretty good friend. But what about protein? The essential building blocks for our bodies. Does that zapping energy from the microwave unlock their power, or does it just kind of wreck them?
Okay, this is actually pretty fascinating. A recent study looking at soybean protein found that microwaving can be a huge help. What happens is the energy from the microwave helps to sort of unfold the complex protein structures. That makes it way easier for our own digestive enzymes to get in there and do their job. So, long story short, your body can absorb and actually use more of that protein.
And get this, they even figured out the perfect sweet spot. The study found that just 60 seconds, 1 minute, of microwaving at 900 watts pushed the digestibility of that soy protein up to an amazing 84.29%. Talk about a very specific and very effective little window of time.
But, and this is a really big but, there's almost always a trade-off, isn't there? While that 1-minute zap made the protein way more nutritious, it also led to a nearly 30% drop in the very amino acids that give it flavor. So yeah, you get more nutritional bang for your buck, but you might be sacrificing some taste to get it.
All right, now let's get into what might be the most serious concern for a lot of people. It's this fear that microwaves don't just remove good things, but that they might actually create new, harmful chemicals in our food.
And the main chemical people worry about here is something called acrylamide. You'll find it forming in starchy foods, think potatoes, during pretty much any kind of high-heat cooking. The concern is that in animal studies, it's been linked to cancer. So how does the microwave stack up on this front?
And wow, this chart shows something pretty surprising. A study published in PubMed looked at acrylamide levels in potato chips. The chips that were fried the old-fashioned way had about 0.645 milligrams per kilogram, but the ones cooked in a 750-watt microwave, they had way more, almost 0.9 milligrams. So, okay, that's definitely a point against the microwave, but that is not the whole story.
Because here's the other side of the coin. While microwaving can pump up acrylamide in starchy foods, it can seriously slash other dangerous compounds in different foods. Take meat, for example. Compared to grilling or frying, microwaving creates way fewer carcinogens like HCAs and PAHs. In fact, a lot of experts recommend you actually pre-cook your meat in the microwave for a minute or two before you throw it on the grill just to reduce the formation of those nasty chemicals. Now, look, to be fair and thorough here, we have to talk about all the research, and that includes some of the more extreme perspectives out there. There's one viewpoint, mainly coming from a single review paper in 2024, that raises some much bigger red flags.
This paper makes a really bold claim, saying microwave cooking is, and I quote, far more dangerous to the human body than anyone could imagine. Now, it's really important to stress that this is an outlier view. This is not the scientific consensus. But let's take a look at what their specific worries are. So this paper argues that the superfast heating from microwaves creates a lot of damaging free radicals, those unstable atoms that can mess with our cells. It also claims the process makes unnatural molecules by literally deforming their shape and can even change some amino acids into forms that are toxic to our nervous system. Again, just to be clear, this is one specific viewpoint from one paper, but it's part of the conversation, so it's important to know it's out there.
So, after all that, where does this leave us? We've seen some good things, some not so good things, and I think it's pretty clear that the microwave isn't a simple hero or villain. It really is all about a complex series of trade-offs. So let's just break it all down one last time. When it comes to vitamins, yeah, it's better than boiling for keeping those water-soluble ones like C and B. For proteins, it can make them easier to digest, but you might lose some flavor. And for chemicals, and this is a big one, it can slash some carcinogens in meat, but maybe increase others in starchy foods. It's really like a balance sheet, with pros and cons in every single column. So, at the end of the day, maybe the focus shouldn't be on whether the microwave itself is good or bad. The science really just shows it's a tool, right? It's just like your oven or your frying pan. So the real question isn't about the box, it's about you. Are you using it well? Now that you know all this, maybe it means you'll use it to steam your veggies instead of boiling them from now on. Or maybe you'll think twice before you blast a potato on high for 10 minutes. The power and all those trade-offs are really in your hands.